instructor at the Bernardo Free Academy. I'm here with my friend Alex. Today we're going to go over some stuff from closed guard that's going to build to an open guard and some ideas of what we can do from a basic concept. Because often if we stay in the closed guard, we might get stuck or we're stalling a bit. I want to be able to open up so I can attack. I want to work towards either a sweep or some kind of submission. So let's look at a few options. We're going to start here in the closed guard, like I said. We're going to focus today on getting a double cuff grip or a double sleeve grip from here. But if I stay like this and he stays like this, we're both just stuck here. Nothing's happening. If I want to attack, I have to do something, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is set up my legs since I have grips. I'm going to bring my feet to my hips. I'm going to scoot back a little bit and I'm going to turn. Now as I turn, this top knee I want to drop right on his elbow and drive it real heavy, heavy, heavy. Now sometimes people hold on, sometimes they let go. We're going to look at both of those. In this first one, I'm going to drive so heavy he's going to start letting go. And as he lets go of his left hand, you can see my hand, I'm going to keep my grip. As I'm here, maybe he'll start pulling that arm back. He postures up a little bit. This is common. So I'm super heavy with my right knee. Now I'm going to shift and fire it over the shoulder and pull in. As I get here, I'm in a nice triangle setup. Sometimes I only lock my leg. Sometimes I get to a figure four. Next up, I want to pass this so I can bring the arm across. A couple ways I can do it. I can try pulling, or I like to come underneath and push. I'm going to show a different angle in a second. But now as I'm here, his elbow is right in my hip. I'm going to pull tight. Let's say I only got this far. I didn't have a real tight figure four. I can grab my shin because everything's to me. Foot to hip, turn my angle, bring up, and finish my nice triangle here. Okay, so let's do a couple of angles because it's hard to see all the details on this one. So same idea. Got into closed guard, he created posture. Usually I might want to pull him down first, but I can't. So double sleeve grips, feet to hips. I scoot back a little bit. Notice I'm right on the center line here. Now I'm going to shift my hips. Look how much I turn and drop. My left foot's still on his hip, so if he starts trying to stack me, I can stop him. My right knee is, yeah, look how I'm here. And I'm going to keep my partner on the knees for now. But drop down, yeah. So as I'm here, it gives me still a good position. I don't let go. I drive that knee down. He's going to start letting go because it hurts. His left hand lets go. Right here. Now I shift. There's a big pivot there. So right now I need my foot heavy. If it's like this, it might let him up. I want to be heavy on the shoulder. At very best, lock up your guard, ankle to ankle. Sometimes you get right to the figure four, but let's assume it's right here. Now I want to pass. If he tries to stop the pass, it's hard to pull. So look, I'm going to reach underneath and pull. Now I bring my knees to me, deep. If this arm is up and I try to finish a triangle, there's space to live. When I push across here, right, makes it a lot harder. Now I bring everything to me. Look, I pull to me, gripping the shin right by his head. So I keep a nice closed loop. When I open, foot to the hip, turn my ankle, point my toes over the top and hook back in. Now, nice and tight. Let's go a little faster without all the talking just so you can see this angle a little smoother. Nice and relaxed. Boom, I turn, right down, over the top, lock. I can grip any way here to pull, come up, fix my angle, get my towel. One last angle we'll try from here. So this basic idea is I'm going to an open, let's move back just a little bit. I'm going to an open guard, right? I don't just put my feet here because he can start passing, right? He'll start gripping up pants and everything, yeah, and then I'm in trouble. I didn't get grips. So anytime I'm going to go to an open guard, get my grips first. Now I'm set to control his hands. That's what's going to cause me damage. Feet to the hips, I scoot back, heavy on the knee. Now, when he starts breaking, like if he doesn't let go of this grip right here, if he doesn't let go, I have to force him or I'm going to do something else. But I want to drive my top leg so heavy and push that he lets go. He's going to let go because I'm forcing it. Now I shift my angle here. Lock up my guard, collect my hand and turn. Fix my angle, finish my triangle. Now sometimes, if I'm struggling here and I'm having a really, really tough time, slow down. Look, my angle's too straight, I turn. I make sure it's a little tighter. Good. So there's no rush. If I'm getting good control, it's really hard for my part. All right, so we had good option from having the double sleeves and going right to a triangle. Let's look at what happens when I'm trying to drop that hand down, they pull the arm back and I lose my grip. So we'll start from this angle because this is probably the easiest to see it. The goal is, right, his hands might be on my belt or on my fabric, like right on the gi itself. When I get this first setup, let's see, when I get here and I turn and I'm heavy with this knee, pushing down when I'm heavy here, look, he might still hold on. So I'm gonna have to break this grip, but I'm using so much pressure. So I'm gonna try to break it now. Look, 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 he doesn't like it. Once it's here though, I'm still holding. This is huge. That way I can punch it through for my triangle setup. But let's say he yanks it back and I lose control of that. Boom, I'm stuck here. I still have this grip he's still holding. I'm gonna immediately reset to the collar and set up here. So now look, I'm gonna go right into a scissor sweep. There's a lot of ways to do a scissor sweep, but he pulled his arm back and the shoulders back. So look at the angle of the shoulders. I get a nice collar grip. I come up on my elbow for this one. Look, I'm tight. His arm's still forward, so now his shoulder is compromised. My foot's on the hip. The last thing I'm going to do, there's two options here. I can push or chop his knee, but I need to drop his knee so his hip comes down. For this one, I'm going to push, pull, and swing right up into a nice mount position. Here I go. So we'll do it one more time. Double cuff grips from here. Feet to the hip, scoot back a little bit, turn. I'm heavy, heavy, heavy. He pulls the arm back, I lose the grip. I update here immediately. Change my posture. Look where his knee is. His knee, don't move right now. His knee's here. I want to get his hip to the mat. So right now, pushing will drop the knee. Or will drop the knee so that the hip comes back. If you come back up, let's say I end up in this position. If you turn towards me, I end up in this position, but his knee's really tight. I'm trying to push back, his body weight's on it. Now I'll chop and come up into my scissor sweep finish up on the top of the mount, okay? What we're really looking at is the idea of somebody is based, when you sit up and they're turned here, this is what we want. We're controlling the shoulder and stretching them out. Our shin is across their chest or up in the armpit area here. Now we've got to deal with the knee and the hip. I want their hip to the mat, so if the knee's wide, we push this back and it drops their hip. If the knee's tight, we'll push it in to drop the hip. So I'm going to do both of those real quick. So good, I'm here. I come out. Here, he pulls that arm back, I lose the grip. I come up. Look where his knee is. Push and I come up. Second one, he's going to keep the knee tight when I do this. Get my sleeve grips, feet to hip, I scoot back. Knee's heavy, pulls it back. Here, look, his knee's tight. I chop it out and come up. All right, guys, so we've got a triangle entry from this double sleeve open guard. And if we lose that grip, we have a nice scissor sweep that we can do from there. So we got two options. I also want to think about at any point, if I start losing grips, I can always fire my legs back in there, keep that closed guard. I don't want to be lazy with the legs and let them pass. But sometimes things go messy. So let's look at what happens. I started here, closed guard, both grips. Came up here and I start turning. And I lose one grip completely. Like I'm pulling here, I drop the knee down, he pulls his arm back. So this is the arm I want to fight with. Right now, he's on my belt. If he starts gripping on my knee or something like this, especially the other hand starts coming, you can see I'm already going to start losing in the pass, right? So I cannot allow his hands to get out of my range. So I'm going to keep this hand for dear life. If I come here and I'm trying for the scissor sweep, let's say he postures up and I can't reach. Look at all that I've got here. There's still options. I can still double grip, pull in here, and I'm set up for the armbar, right? I can come right into an armbar and finish. Or a lot of times I can get a sweep. Look at this angle here. I got my first setup. I drop the knee, he pulls it back. I couldn't get the scissor sweep. As I'm here though, he'll try to thread that arm back in. I'm like, yeah, over the top. And I'm just gonna come right up using that same idea. It's almost like a variant of a pendulum sweep or a flower sweep. Every single time I'm holding this arm and sliding this leg back in. So I'll show you one more time what I mean. Cuff grips, feet to hips. I scoot back a little bit and turn as I'm driving down right here. Look at this hand. This is huge. I want to keep this shoulder compromised, keep his weight forward. He pulls back. I'm under the armpit now. Look, as I turn, you can see this is the beginning of the sweep. I can even come up here. We did this in a different video. Same idea of a pendulum sweep right into an armbar. So these things start mixing and matching, right? They start overlapping. So I want to think of that idea. I'm in a closed guard. I can't just stay there. I can't just lock down because they're undoing everything. So I'll get grips, go to an open guard, and start playing with some ideas of how to sweep or how to attack or how to submit them.